We also have some breaking news tonight in the many legal cases facing Donald Trump. Judge Tanya Chutkan just formally canceled Trump's election interference trial that had been scheduled for March 4th, writing that, quote, the court will set a new schedule if and when the mandate is returned. The mandate, of course, is the long-awaited decision by the appellate court on the ex-president's claim of absolute immunity from prosecution. Until that ruling, which we're still waiting for, we won't know when or if the D.C. trial, arguably the most important trial in recent American history, and certainly of the 4 criminal cases against Trump, will happen. Just the kind of delay he wants. Joining me now, Harry Litman, former Deputy Assistant Attorney General of the Department of Justice. Let's just start with this. I mean, I think this is just acknowledging what everyone knew to be true and is essentially just a kind of administrative move, though it highlights the fact that it's now been 3 or 4 weeks, I think, and we still don't have anything from the D.C. Circuit.
Yeah, 24 days. And yes, it's administrative. The mandate is what one needs for jurisdiction. So in that sense, she says, it's not my case anymore. But that if and when sort of wafts off the page, you can almost hear a sigh of frustration with it. D.C. Circuit, what about, is there an if here? Will I ever see it again? So, yes, a kind of checking of a box, but a little bit almost frustrated and poignant.
Yeah, I got that too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading into it, but I thought the if and when was striking. Let's talk about.
You didn't need the if.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
She didn't have to write if. Yeah.
So let's talk about 2 other cases here. So one is there's another thing we're waiting for, which is the ruling by Judge Engoron in New York State Court, where there's a civil fraud trial. And we have a development there, which is that the former finance chief, Alan Weisselberg, is in negotiations to plead guilty to perjury for testimony during this civil fraud trial. As part of the agreement, he would have to admit he lied on the witness stand in the recent civil fraud trial. It would likely not require to turn on his former boss. The potential agreement could strengthen Bragg's hand before the former president's trial, could deter other witnesses in Mr. Trump's circle from lying on the stand. What do you make of this?
He's become the human pinata for Donald Trump, like the ultimate whatever Trump touches dies, right? There's a poignancy to it, and he just sits there and takes it because he doesn't want to cooperate. It's a pretty interesting. I think the perjury is going to concern his testimony that he didn't really care about the 10,000 versus 30,000 foot discrepancy in the apartment, but it's clear that he did. Now that's not part of the case that it's now being pursued, but prosecutors don't like perjury very much, and they came after him. But just what a completely defeated shell of a man, 76 years old, and just standing there and having to take it for his lifelong loyalty to Fred Trump and Donald Trump.
Yeah,
he's the ultimate kind of roadkill here.
Yes, that's a great point. And also,
but I'm sorry, one more thing, because of Engoron. Engoron said the 31st, and 2 weeks later, that's a long time. So I think one can surmise that both this fact, and he doesn't know any more than we do. They don't tell him in the DA's office, but that Weisselberg may plead guilty, and also the report we got from Judge Jones, which set out all these ongoing problems. Those may well figure in Engoron's calculation of penalty, need for certain protections, and the like. So I think that's the most likely explanation for why we're going 2 more weeks.
Okay, finally here on the Georgia case, of course, allegations of impropriety leveraged in both the press and also in a court filing against District Attorney Fani Willis for what the opposing counsel had contended was an improper relationship with Nathan Wade, who's an attorney who's been an outside attorney brought into the office. Her filing today, basically, top line is, yes, they have had a relationship. No, it isn't improper. It doesn't rise to any level of anything that should affect her involvement in the case. What do you think of her filing?
It's 100% true under Georgia law. She needed to do it. The law of these kinds of scandals is get it all out early. The thing is, by now there's sort of blood in the water. You have one of these, phony baloney special investigative commissions in Georgia. No one other than Jim Jordan subpoenaed her today. McAfee's going to have a hearing on the 15th. And
That's the
oddly,
judge.
even before this, he stouted an evidentiary hearing. So what sort of evidence is he going to take? That could be a bit of a circus, and this could continue, even though it should be the end of it. There's no conflict here.
Okay, Harry Litman, thank you very much.